Hi guys, my name is Obi. I'm a prop trader from HashEdge, and I'm here to give you the daily market analysis as usual. So we are back into the market. Let's just hop into the market and see what is going on. Today, it is happening. A lot of people brace yourselves, prepare yourselves for movement to the upside. Everybody is getting prepared. Only the smart traders and the smart money, they are prepared for upside movement. We can see we are at 85,800, and that looks bullish for upside movement. Of course, there's a resistance that we have to cross over and break that resistance and confirm the support, which is at 88,500. I feel like a broken record saying this every day, but this is what it takes to trade. To be a good trader, you have to be willing and ready to sit on your hands and watch out for the next movement and have your own levels and your own targets of when you are going to act, when you are going to take profit, your stop loss. All this has to be calculated, and it has to be paid attention according to your risk levels, of course. So we are looking at Bitcoin is very, very high. The RSI looks like it's pointing upwards, although there's a lack of volume in the whole chart. But looking at Ethereum USDT, it also looks a little bit kind of bullish. RSI looks like is settling, or most likely looking like is pointing to the downward side. So I don't really have confidence in Ethereum at the moment, and Ethereum looks bearish for me. Looking at the Solana chart, so Solana also looks bullish. Looking at it at the RSI, it also looks like it's pointing upwards for a further upside movement in the near term. XRP looks, of course, bullish. Looks like it is moving sideways for now. So we'll just be watching the XRP chart for a sideways movement up until the market tells us what it's going to do or what direction it has decided to take. And that would lead us, or that would confirm our direction on where we're about to take it. Moving ahead and looking at the crypto fear and greed index, we looked like, just like yesterday, we looked to be in a better position like last week. And at 31, there's still fear in the markets. And just looking at what Trump administration is saying from the macro side and the global geopolitics, Trump administration saying the US may buy Bitcoin using tariff revenue. Let's just listen to Anthony Pompliano speaking to one of the officials of the Trump administration.
But then I've also seen Letnick and others talk about this idea of, well, maybe there's external revenue that we can drive and be able to use that. And so, like, how are you guys maybe from a framework standpoint thinking about, okay, what are the ways that we could go buy more Bitcoin?
Well, I think that Senator Lummis has really an interesting idea with the Bitcoin Act of 2025, which I know has taken the community by storm. But here, what you would do is you'd revalue the gold certificates that we currently have at Treasury. Most of which are valued, I think, around like $43 an ounce, which is,
a lot lower than what it's really worth.
Correct. Yeah. So now we're sitting at what, $3,100 an ounce, with being the price of gold. And if you took that value, what you could do is use that extra funding in order to buy more Bitcoin that could be used for the reserve. But that's just one idea. And, that's currently circulating its way through Capitol Hill, and we'll see how many co-sponsors she can get and how she can pull her colleagues on board. But we're looking at many creative ways, whether it be from, tariffs, whether it be from something else. I mean, there's literally countless ways in which you can do this. And, I'll defer to, some of our members inside of the interagency working group to see what ideas they come up with inside of their own shops. But we'll look at everything. Everything's on the table. And like we've said,
everything is on the table. They are willing to do what it takes to buy back Bitcoin so they can use revenue they are generating from the tariffs to buy Bitcoin. So this is obviously a bullish stance, and shows us there's a lot of bullish momentum coming in the near term. All in Crypto, another respected analyst that I look up to, is pointing at three charts that looks bullish to him, that looks bullish, and pointing at an upside movement in the coming weeks and months. MicroStrategy, which is like a derivative of holding, because MicroStrategy is one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin. So a lot of people hold this MicroStrategy coin, of course, by which is owned by, and I think the CEO, I believe the CEO is Michael Saylor, is used as a conduit to holding Bitcoin if you don't want to have exposure directly by holding cryptocurrencies. A lot of people from the traditional stock market are holding MicroStrategy stocks. So MicroStrategy looks to be pointing upside, as you can see in the charts. Also Coinbase, another derivative and a conduit, because Coinbase exchange, you can use a lot of stock markets Holders are holding Coinbase token, Coinbase not tokens, Coinbase stocks as a conduit to owning cryptos as an exposure to cryptocurrencies, and you can see that with Coinbase. And also looking at the Bitcoin chart, all three charts look similar, and looks like an upside movement is a breakout is going to be happening anytime in the near term. Then also just looking at how anyone can be bullish, how can be bearish on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has outperformed the S&P 500 in the past 14 years. So of course, all this is just bullish sentiment. We are bulls over here. Of course, when the chart tells us to be bullish, when the chart tells us it's pointing bearish, we'll be bearish. So it's not like we are flip flopping, but we are acting, and we are following what the market is telling us. According to what the market is telling and what price action is saying, that's what will dictate our movement. We don't believe, and we don't just do anything what we feel like doing. We follow what the market is saying. And you can look at another chart again from Crypto Caesar is stating that Bitcoin is in a Wyckoff reaccumulation, and this is a bullish scenario for upward movement up until 120k. But of course, there are different support and resistance zones moving upwards till this, and this is just showing us a bullish sentiment, and pretty much an overall bullish sentiment today that I'm presenting to you for upside movement for Bitcoin. Just to reiterate again, like I said, and following my thesis, is that we have resistance at 88,500. So once we cross that resistance and we make a support on that 88,500, once we confirm that support, I'm expecting further movement to the upside, and that is when I will take my long and I will enter the market. So this is just the market update for today, Tuesday, 15th of April, and we continue to watch the market, and we continue to be hopeful, and we continue to act based on what the chart is telling us. We don't act voluntarily. We follow what the market is telling us. And you continue to watch me, and we show you results from zero to Ferrari. Bye.